Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's Jim, and today's video is talking about some more records, and specifically talking about some more records that are in my collection. Now, last time we got up to a bit of D, and I kind of hinted that, well, not even hinted, I said there is a lot more of this section here, D, to go. And then we still have D on that side, but I think this bit here is going to take up a big chunk of time. So I'm going to dedicate this video just to this. So I think it's fairly common for people when they sort of discover a new artist that they really, really like. Sometimes you can fall heavily for an artist. I mean, you can fall hard. And that is the case with me and Devin Townsend. So would have been about 4 years ago when I literally started this channel. My very, very, very first reaction video I made was to a Devin Townsend song, The Death of Music, recorded at the Royal Albert Hall in London. It's an extraordinary thing, and it started, along with a few other pieces back then, sort of a new absolute love for this artist. And of course, I've had to sort of get his stuff. So what I've got some box sets here, and this is the vinyl that's been released more recently, which is not on box set. So we'll start here. So the first one I have, which is the first record that I have bought from Devin Townsend that was released after I sort of discovered him, sort of thing. So rather than me sort of retrospectively discovering it, this is Empath. Now, this was released in 2019, I think. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's gorgeous artwork, I think you'll agree. And it kind of is a very mixed bag of styles, is the best way to describe this. So he's never been afraid to try different things. So he goes from sort of extreme metal to alt country to what have we got? I mean, even on here we've got a song called Why, which is almost sort of Disney-esque or musical sounding. It's very, very different from a lot of other stuff. And he's done absolutely loads of stuff, ambient electronica, and I mean, if you're watching this and you never have, you know what I'm talking about. He's basically like David Bowie of metal. He's so inventive and exciting and interesting. And this album is kind of Devin Townsend on one record, so all of his different facets are presented here, and it's brilliant. So that's the first record. Now, this doesn't really fit in the record collection because it's a CD, but I haven't got anywhere else to store it, so I had to keep it here because it's too big. This is, again, Empath, but this is the CD box set, which has got some Blu-rays on it and also a surround sound mix. So this is really, really good. And you've got loads of, on disc 2, we've also got lots and lots of demos. So whenever he releases an album, he always releases a second album to go sit alongside it, which is full of all the demos and probably about another 15 songs which didn't actually make it onto the album itself. So this is a lovely thing as well. So that's the special edition CD. Next up is the live recording. This is called Order of Magnitude. This is recorded live at what was it called? The Roundhouse in London. I was there. So this is, as you can see on the thing here, another beautiful gatefold. An amazing tour, amazing group of artists he got to play with him as well. It was absolutely brilliant. And it's just absolutely stunning thing to be involved with and to watch and to experience. Probably one of the best gigs I've ever been to. Got all sorts of stuff in here. So yeah, that's Order of Magnitude. Next up we have got Devin Townsend, Acoustically Inclined. That I've played a little bit of this on the channel. This is released during lockdown. So it was a release of a live set that he performed in Leeds. It's just him and acoustic guitar. It's blooming amazing. And it's absolutely beautiful, beautiful music. It's taking all his really, really heavy stuff and giving it the acoustic treatment. It sounds great. It sounds absolutely great. That's a lovely record, that. Now, this next one is the second in the series of these lockdown records. And this is a release called Galactic Quarantine. And this is the audio from the live stream. He did one of his live stream gigs. This was played live with a bunch of guys, all in different parts of the US and Canada. So they sort of live streamed it all together and filmed it. And it's basically a really, really good gig, just minus an audience. Again, absolutely amazing. Just so, so good. And the final one in this little section here is the record which came out a couple of months ago. This is called The Puzzle. This was Devin Townsend's, or is Devin Townsend's, response to the pandemic and to what it meant to him, what it meant, how he managed to cope, how it made him feel. Basically, it's a reaction to the world locking down and to not being able to do anything, and the fear and the anxiety and stuff just sort of chronicled on this record. It's unusual. It's not. It is not at all along the lines of Empath or Transcendence or Epicloud or any of those sort of louder big pieces. This is much more intimate and personal, and it's very it's ambient in a way. It's free form electronica. Lots of other artists on it, loads of people contributing to it, but it's not free flowing traditional song collection, put it that way. But it is good. It is really, really good. So that's the selection of the individual records. Now, next up, we've got a set of, well, 5 box sets actually. There's 4 which belong together. They're called Devin Townsend Eras, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, it's this one. And this is basically the Devin Townsend project. So when Devin Townsend formed the Devin Townsend project, its goal was to produce 4 records, which is what this is. They are Key, I'll put it down there so you can see it, Key, Addicted, Deconstruction and Ghost. Reflecting different aspects of his creativity, his persona, and so on and so forth. So, what do we have in here? We have got, first of all, we've got a book. So this is some beautiful photography in here, some line notes, discussion about what the tracks are, how they're recorded, the history, what went into it, all that sort of stuff. There's loads. I mean, it's a gloriously, glorious, beautiful thing. Now, we also have the individual records. So let's turn this over that way. First one we have is Addicted. This is pop rock metal. Really, really, really cool. Very, very fun. So Devin in the middle. Then you've got Annika, Ryan on the drums. I think that's Bees on the bass. I don't know who the guitarist is, so it's not Dave Young. So that's the first record. This is Key, K-I. A far more stripped back, mellow sounding record, this one. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It always threatens to get really, really heavy and to overflow over the top, the crest of the wave, but then instead of crashing onto whatever it's crashing onto, it sort of just recedes again. So it never is, also like this ebb and flow, never quite gets there. Apart from maybe a little bit in stand, it does. But this is a beautiful, 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 beautiful record. Again, this is a double one. More to say about that. Then we get to the two final records, Deconstruction and Ghost. So these were both released, I think, on the same day. I better show them up here so you can see them. Deconstruction and Ghost. And they could not be more different if they tried. You got the absolutely insane, chaotic sound of this one, the metal of Deconstruction. It's almost like sort of chaotic metal circus music. It's just absolutely bonkers. And it's grounded and brought back down to earth again and mellowed out with Ghost, so you've got these two absolute opposite ends of the spectrum. You've got your insane metal versus your Enya, basically, and it works. It works. It's such a good thing. Right. So that's Eras number 1, and we have Eras edition number 2. This is looking at Devin Townsend's solo career, his early career. So we've got on here Ocean Machine, Infinity, Physicist, Terrier, and Synkestra. Now, if you can remember back to last summer, I featured Terrier as one of my favourite records. Absolutely beautiful thing. So this is where Terrier is from, certainly in the box set series. So this is all Devin Townsend by himself, releasing music as Devin Townsend, all Devin Townsend band. So you've got Devin Townsend, then Synkestra as the Devin Townsend band. So let's have a look at these records. Another set here. So again, we've got the booklet in the back there. Look at that first. I'll put the records down on it. Oh, again, it's just a lot of the photography from when the records were originally released. You've got a few bits of lyrics, I think, in here. You've got lots of production notes. And stuff. It's again another beautifully thought out and put together thing. The presentation on this is just glorious. Right, so the first record we have is Ocean Machine. A lot of people rate this as their absolute favourite Devin Townsend thing. I love it, I really do. And it's always a toss-up between this, Infinity, and Terrier. And most days Terrier wins for me. But this is beautiful. This is amazing. This is where Death of Music comes from, the song which inspired me so much when I first started the YouTube channel. It's loads of music on there. So that's Ocean Machine. We have Infinity. Doesn't matter how close you get, you can't see, honestly. Very well placed shadows. And even in fact, these been airbrushed out on the inside. Poor Devin. That's funny. So that's Infinity. Got some fantastic tracks on here. I mean, you've got fantastic tracks on all these records. I'm not going to start going going into the individual track listings. The Physicist is the record which he is least happy with from a production point of view. This is The Physicist. His band is basically Strapping Young Lad, so I'm not quite sure why it wasn't ever released as Strapping Young Lad, but it's the same band. But actually, I don't know. Did Byron Stroud play in Strapping? I think he did. But anyway, Jed Simon on the guitar, Gene Hoglan on drums, Devin Townsend, vocals, guitar, keyboards. The production is a bit thin, I think, is the best way to describe it, and trebly. So it's fatiguing to listen to. It'd be wonderful if this could be redone, but I think he lost all the original recordings, so it's never going to happen, unfortunately. But it's a good record. It's got some great songs on here. Namaste, original version of Kingdom, and Planet Rain. I mean, they're superb. Now, this one you'll have seen before. This is Terrier. So there's not any to say about that, other than I think this is my favourite Devin Townsend record. Most days. And then the final one in this box is Synkestra. I haven't listened to this one as much as I should have done, actually. This is it's got some great songs on here. Pixelate is one of my favourite songs. Let It Roll, Baby Song, a bit amusing. Vampolka and Vampira. It's kind of just... It's just Devin Townsend being Devin Townsend. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But of those few records, this is probably the one I've listened to the least, so I ought to give that... I might even give that a spin on the channel. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? To all you Devin Townsend fans. Right, let's put that one away. That's Eras number 2. Eras number 3. Oh, whew! So what do we have now? Still some more Devin Townsend bands. So we've got, let's move this over so you can see. Accelerated Evolution, where Deadhead comes from, which is kind of probably his most famous song alongside Kingdom. Those are the two which everybody knows. And if you ever see people doing reactions on YouTube, they tend to be the two songs that they do. Epic Cloud. So this is Devin Townsend Project. Although Devin Townsend Project finished, or should have finished, it carried on. Epic Cloud is awesome. Transcendence. I love this record. Transcendence, I think, is one of my favourites. Sky Blue. Actually, this is one that I don't know very well at all. I've never really sort of sat down and listened to that. So I should do that. That's I don't know that record. And then Devin Townsend Project live at the Royal Albert Hall, Part 2. So as ever, we've got a beautiful book. So much stuff in here. And this really is sort of really beautifully put together. It's a labour of love. First record, Accelerated Evolution. As I say, this has got other songs on here, absolutely brilliant as well, but it has got Deadhead, which is the really famous Devin Townsend song. So that's Accelerated Evolution. Now, this is the one I don't know at all, Sky Blue. I need to really sort of listen to this because it's Universal Flame. I know that from the live show at the Royal Albert Hall. It's the last song of the night. But that's the only one off here I know. I don't know if that's meant to be his son on the front there, but I need to listen to this because it's not familiar to me at all. Now, Epic Cloud is very familiar. This is just an amazing record. Here they are. Every single song on here is just uplifting and wholesome. Wholesome, maybe not. Uplifting, maybe wholesome. Uplifting, wholesome, positive, and great fun. It's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This is probably another one that needs to be played as well. So get round to that. I was going to say finally, but it's not finally. This is penultimately Transcendence. This is probably the first record of Devin Townsend's I bought. I had this on CD and listened to this in the car a lot 3-4 years ago. And it's got some of my favourite tracks on here. Higher is amazing. Truth, Storm Bending, Failure, Secret Science is Higher, Stars and Transcendence. But then you've got some other bits and pieces on here as well, which it's great. It's absolutely brilliant. Storm Bending as a song is almost like his big. Had it been another artist, they'd have sort of, right, we're going to plough that furrow because that's positive. He kind of was successful with it. Think, right, no, I don't want to be successful like that. I'm going to go off and do something else. So you never follow it. If you could collect lots of pieces of his music together and put it all together, you would have one heck of an album. Probably world beating. And his final one is the second part of his show at the Royal Albert Hall from 2015, I think it was. Has it got the date on there? Don't know if it says. But it was a show of two parts. So the first half was playing Ziltoid in its entirety. Was it Ziltoid or Z2? Z2, I think it was the second part of the Ziltoid story. So that was the first part of the show. And then the second part was this one, which was a by request show. So he got all his sort of greatest hits, as it were. I'm going to see Devin Townsend at Royal Albert Hall on Easter Sunday, so 17th of March, I think it is. April, sorry, next month. Can't wait, absolutely can't wait. So I'm going to be somewhere in here. It's going to be amazing. So that's that. That's Devin Townsend Eras box set 3. Eras number 4. This is the way, you may think it's been a bit extravagant getting all these box sets, but it actually works out at the same cost to be able to sort of get all the records because they're all just sort of collected together. So it's not, they are expensive now. Someone was asking me the other day about where you get hold of them because they're like sort of £300-400 now on eBay and Discogs and stuff. So when I bought it, it was nowhere near that expensive. And in fact, this one, I'm sure it's this one. I'll pop it down there so you can see it. Or hold it up so you can see it first. I was so lucky. I got this from HMV, which is a record chain in the UK. £60. £60. Unbelievable. Can't believe it was that cheap. I mean, these other ones were all around about 95 or 100 each, so they are a bit more expensive. But 60 quid. 60 quid is unbelievable. So, what have we got in here? We've got Ziltoid the Omniscient. That's his rock opera about coffee and aliens. Very funny. Z2, which is part 2 of the story. Then we've got Ziltoid live at the Royal Albert Hall. So that's the first half of the show I was talking about a minute ago. And then the last bit here is live a year or two before that. So this was in support of Epiclad, I think, as called Retinal Circus, played at the Roundhouse, which is where one of these gigs was. Where is it? Order of Magnitude. So the gig that I was at, that I went to there, that's the Roundhouse as well. So, right, let's get these lined up. As always, the first thing we've got on here is the book. Page after page after page. So let's put it down here so you can see it. So much information, and again, so lyrics, production notes, photography, pictures. Wow. The Universal Choir. So this was way before my time, but there was a song that had called the Universal Choir, where he asked fans from all over the world to send in a recording of them singing a line, or I think it was a line or a chorus or something from a song, and then he mixed the whole lot together and he had this huge choir in one of the songs. That's so cool. So that's everyone who took part in that. You got their name there. This is Ziltoid the Omniscient. This is the record I was talking about, the saga of Ziltoid, which is the alien, and his search for a cup of coffee. It's properly good. It's so funny. Really, really funny. It's absolutely incredible. And part of is all part of Devin Townsend's legacy now, I guess. It's part of who he is and what he is. So it's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant, hilariously funny. Z2, Ziltoid Dark Matters. Not as good as the first one, but it's still worthy of listening to. But it's not my favourite thing he's done. But it's good fun. It sort of adds to the story and sort of gives it a bit more substance. Put it that way. Right. Next record is the Devin Townsend Project live at the Royal Albert Hall, playing Ziltoid Z2. So this is the bit I was just saying about. So it's that previous record, but played live. And that's the first half of the concert. And then this record, Retinal Circus, or records, I should say. This is again a live concert. Spread over 6 records. 3 records, sorry, 6 sides, I should say. Absolutely fantastic concert that is, and it's a thing of beauty and joy. If you can watch that, there's loads of videos of that on YouTube. Do so, really, really good. So that's the final Devin Townsend Eras box set, which is very cool. It goes away there. And then the last box set I've got here, I've got that upside down, I put that away properly, is By a Thread. So this is again a live concert. This is played in London in about 2011. So going back several years before some of these. And this is really early Devin Townsend Project era stuff. So it's played at so when the Devin Townsend Project initial 4-record run was finished, they were launched, he then played them live in entirety. So it's 4 nights in London, played each album on a different night. So you had Addicted, Deconstruction, Key and Ghost. And then so maybe not quite in that order, but it was those are the ones. And then at the end of each gig, obviously had a load of encores and stuff. So there's another record in here, which is that. So what have we got in here? Let's turn it over. Oh, so first one is Key, November the 10th. Addicted, November the 11th. Deconstruction, November the 12th. And Ghost was on the 13th. So that's the order that they were played. Let's have a look at these, shall we? You're getting used to the format now. So we have another amazing book. Again, so much stuff in there. Lots of photography, lots. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Our first record is Key. Quite a small stage, quite intimate. It's a much smaller band back then, it's less well known. Or band, less well known artist, I should say. I think Key is really, I don't know if it's underrated, but it's certainly one of my favourite records of his. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's very, very subtle. It's very laid back, and as I said before, it's the one that sort of kind of threatens to get very loud and very over the top, but it just kind of always recedes back again and just sort of creeps back into the shadows. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a very, very clever piece of work. I love this record a lot. Then we have Addicted. Not quite sure why every single song on Addicted has an exclamation mark behind the title of it, but it does. This one's got a lot of Annika singing on it, which is really, really lovely to hear. Having this sort of, he does lots and lots of this work where he gets other artists in to sing with him, and I think it enhances what he does so much. Having this dynamic on the stage, it's really, really good. So she's an amazing singer, and some of those songs are incredible. Then we go to Deconstruction. This is a much heavier, much darker, much more chaotic sounding record. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. As you know, pretty much all these records are, and I can't speak highly enough of them. That's Deconstruction. And the final one is the very gentle, quiet, laid back Ghost. It's Enya-esque in its how it sounds. It's beautiful. Lots of sort of panpipes and flutes and trickling water and massive reverb on acoustic guitars, and it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. The final record in this box set is this one. It's not called anything, it's just the bonus material. So this has got all the encores from each night, plus a couple of take twos of songs that went a bit wrong in the first way. But no, it's so that's actually there's some really great material on here. Deep Peace, Pixelate. Those two songs are up there with being some of my favourite things he's ever done. You got Coasts, the second take of that. And again, that's, oh man, alive! It's so good. So that is. Let's get the box back on again. No, what's not called Deconstruction. This is called By a Thread. Now, there is one other little box I just need to show you, because again, this doesn't fit in my CD rack. This is By a Thread again, so it's the same as this, but this is the DVD box set. So you've got the 5 CDs. The 5 CDs are sort of replicating what's on there, but you've also got all of them on DVD. So you've got all the concerts have been filmed. So you've got them all in here. Now this is quite a rarity. I had to scour eBay and in fact all over the world really to try and get hold of this. This came from America. I couldn't find it in the UK. So it's a lot of the repeat of the stuff that's in the little booklet that's in the other one, but it's on a smaller scale. But, that's that. So it's very good. So without going into CDs, so I've got some CDs and stuff as well, and some Blu-rays. Those are not really interesting for this sort of topic, but I just had to do this because it sits there on the shelf because I haven't really got anywhere else to put it. So that's it. That's that section of D. Phew, we got through it. If you're not interested in Devin Townsend, don't worry, we're done now. So we're now moving on to more Ds. Can you believe it? Start off with, I'll tell you what we got. Ronnie James Dio. And we end up at, I suspect you can probably guess, at the other end, Dream Theater. Obviously some Ds, then we'll go to Es and into Fs. So I haven't given it all away, but there we go. That's the end of this video. I'll see you guys on the next video, whenever and whatever that is. And until then, this is Jim over and